Greetings, greetings. Paul Temple here from the Diamond Light Network. I'm happy to offer this 10 minutes of sound transmission at this beautiful sound healing conference. We're going to work with the Heart Sutra, the Prajna Paramita Mantra. The heart of perfect wisdom. So I invite you to bring your hands to your heart, and this is the center of your chest, not the anatomical heart, but the heart center, that place we know as the center of love and truth and spiritual connection. And envision in the center of your chest, feel a pearl of light that glows with beautiful diamond radiance. It's even different than the heart chakra. Seed of divine consciousness. Seat of the soul. And holding that image, that feeling of your pearl of light glowing. Let the vibration of the bowls and the ancient mantra awaken, activate, resonate your heart light, your pearl of diamond radiance, of Vajra wisdom.
Hi there. Welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Now we have Paul Temple. Hi, Paul.
Hello, hello. Greetings. Nice to see you and everybody.
Peaceful, penetrating, and pure. These
Mhm.
words have been used to describe not Paul, but the music of Paul Temple's Radiance Matrix. I thought it was going to be you. Okay.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Whose album Radiance Mixes with the voice of Deva Premal went to number 5 on iTunes World Music Chart. Paul currently offers two main projects to the world. Radiance Matrix is the music project that offers concerts with Tibetan bowls and chanting. The Diamond Light teachings are a body of esoteric practices Paul has received from a spirit guide, Althor. Althor about activating the human heart center as the next step in human evolution.
Yeah, not a small feat. Yeah.
I think, as we'll talk about later, I think your guides are in cahoots with mine.
Well, yeah, they're all part of the great orchestra up there,
Right.
the Heavenly Choir.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to lately?
Um, what have I been up to? I do a lot of online presentations. My bowls are behind me here, and later in the presentation, I will be playing them.
Yeah, we
This
just
book.
heard a whole concert of it.
Ah, so that's really my main work right now is both offering these teachings from Althor about awakening the human heart, but also the teachings involve a lot of sound transmissions because the vibrational message of activating the heart comes through the sound field, in particular the ancient Tibetan Vajrayana mantras that I work with and the Tibetan bowls. This is a kind of a form of practice and magic and a spiritual evolution that the Tibetans have been holding for centuries and is now coming out to the world to help us wake up.
Nice. Okay, so I got a big question for you. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do to help people?
Ah. Well, it's funny because there are all kinds of possibilities, but this messaging that I've received from my spirit guide Althor has given me a very singular focus, which is really nice in the world, that is helping people remember to awaken their hearts and that we have this potential to activate our heart centers. And that the vision Althor has given is of a species of humans living on the earth with awakened hearts and creating a civilization of peace and beauty and collaboration. Because the heart center, the collective heart of humanity and all our individual hearts got shut down through what Althor calls the age of darkness, which is, through centuries and centuries of horror and war and genocide and corruption. And we're now beginning to have the opportunity to remember our hearts, the heart as not the anatomical heart, but the heart as the place of love and truth, the portal into the mystic realms, the mystic path being the path of the heart. So if I had all the money in the world, I'll just answer the question. I would put more, which I'm already putting into, to spreading this message and spreading these practices of offering this vision of a humanity on earth with awakened hearts.
Would you say what you're referring to is universal love
Universal love.
or divine
The,
love?
the divine love, when we tap into that pure Vajra light, that pure divine light, the light of the Gayatri, the Christ light, it's infused with this love that is transcendent, this love that just is love for all and deep compassion and a unifying love. I think we get it a little bit on earth with motherly love, but it is the light of love and the love of light.
Nice. Okay, so tell us about your presentation. What's the title here?
So this is material that came to me through my spirit guide Althor. When I was invited to offer the presentation, boom, I got this download pretty quickly. It's called Naada Brahma. The sound is the teacher. And it's about how we really, by dropping into sound, into the vibrational field, we connect into the Naad. This is a Sanskrit term, Naada Brahma. We can tap into omniscience. We can tap into our own higher spiritual guidance, because in the unified field, we are connecting directly with quantum consciousness, unified consciousness, pure consciousness. So that's what the information that Althor gave me for it is about.
Right. Well, let's check it out.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Greetings, everyone. Paul Temple here, and I'm happy to be part of this amazing sound healing conference. And when I'm with this lovely set of Tibetan bowls here, which I'm going to be playing a little later, we are known as Radiance Matrix. Radiance Matrix. The radiance is the amazing luminous energy field, vibrational field that the bowls create, said to be very similar to the Vajra or diamond light that is the diamond light in our heart center. So I'm going to talk more about that later too. The matrix of radiance matrix is the web of light that we tap into when we drop into the radiant field of the bowls. We'll also be doing that later. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's just take a minute to connect in and align. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment, bring your hands to your heart, and envision in your heart center, right in the center of your chest, not the anatomical heart, but a pearl, a radiant pearl of light in the center of your chest. That is your seed of divine consciousness, the seat of the soul, glowing with this beautiful diamond effervescence, filling your inner being with light. And then let's Om together. This will create a little vibrational connection. 3 times. 'So I have a spirit guide. His name is Althor. And Althor, over the last few years, has given me kind of these downloads of information that we call the Diamond Light teachings. Much of that comes through information, but much of it also comes through sound transmission, vibrational transmissions. But the essence of these teachings from Althor is that for us to consider the possibility that the next step in human evolution is awakening the human heart. Now again, not the anatomical heart, but the heart center. You know, this word is confusing because we use the heart for different things. But this awakening of the human heart can allow us to create a new species of humans with fully awakened hearts on Earth that can then create a civilization of peace and beauty and collaboration on the Earth. Now, I'm going to talk more about this as we go on, but when I was invited to give this presentation, Althor gave me kind of a download of,
The title of the presentation is to be Naada Brahma. The sound is the teacher. Naada Brahma. The sound is the teacher. And there are going to be two parts to this presentation. The first is I'm going to talk. I'm actually going to read from this download that I received from Althor. So that's kind of talk to feed our brain awareness. And Althor says it's very important that our brains and our conscious awareness understand what's happening. But then the second half of the presentation will be a sound transmission, because the vibrations of the bowls, the sound transmissions, and I work with ancient Vajrayana Tibetan mantras, they carry the message into the heart, because it's through the heart that this vibrational connection happens. So first part will be talk, second part will be a sound transmission using the bowls. And I am going to read what I received from Althor, because I can't really sort of extemporaneously try to speak it. So I am going to be reading from this, and here's what this download said. Let's open the topic of Naada Brahma, the sound is the teacher, with a quote from the great Sufi master Hazrat Inayat Khan. One who knows the secrets of sound knows the mystery of the entire universe. But to truly understand this concept, we must shift into the mystic, into the metaphysical, that which is beyond the constructs of the physical world. So I ask you to suspend your sense of normality so we may move into the paranormal, that which is outside the boundaries of your normal earthly reality. So what is the mystic? The mystic path is the path of the heart. This is not the anatomical heart, nor the heart chakra, but the energy center of the heart that we know as that place of love, spiritual connection, and soul wisdom. The seed of divine light in your heart centers, we call it the pearl of light. It is the seat of the soul. The mystic path takes us through the heart to the soul. The mystic is coming to know the greater reality of the soul that is beyond the veil, the multi-dimensional realms that are difficult to access from the density and restrictions of your current human mental perception. The mystic realms are not accessible through mental awareness. These realms are accessible through the heart. Most indigenous cultures still hold this expanded reality, knowing that all things are connected, and it is through the heart that this connection happens. It is through the heart that you can connect with the mystical, multi-dimensional realms. So as you learn or relearn to activate your heart centers, and then to cognate, to perceive through the heart, you can begin to connect with these mystic realms and universal wisdom. Music and sound are special vibrational media that facilitate access into the mystic. Music and sound open and activate the heart center. And since they are vibrational media, they can connect you directly with the most powerful forces in the universe. Now, a succinct earthly explanation of this phenomenon is the Sanskrit phrase Naada Brahma. Now, many of us are familiar with this phrase, but and now I'm speaking as Paul, I had the privilege of hearing an explanation of this phrase from a Hindu Swami, which deepened its meaning for me. I've heard Western musicians explain it with the translation, sound is God. But the Swami expanded and deepened this meaning. Nada translates from the Sanskrit as pulse or vibration, which expands to sound and music, which are vibration. But the deeper meaning of nada, or the nad as it's called, as explained by the Swami, refers to the primordial pulse of creation, the ancient original expansion of the creative force in the conscious universe. My teacher, the Venerable Dhyaniyawahu, calls this the original song of creation. It also correlates with the Christian mythology of, in the beginning was the Word being sound infused with meaning. It could well correlate with what modern science calls the Big Bang as well. Brahma, as many of us know, in the Hindu pantheon, Brahma is the supreme creator and purveyor of knowledge and spiritual wisdom, the supreme creator and purveyor of spiritual knowledge and wisdom. Brahma is the embodiment of the supreme divine creative force. What takes Brahma 10 million years to create, Shiva can destroy in an instant. So Nada, Brahma, together is the simple but profound recognition that sound, vibration, and music are the same as the primordial pulse of creation, are the same as the divine creative force, and are the same as the source of universal knowledge and wisdom. Nada Brahma, the unified vibrational field, the master teacher. Nada Yoga is the body of Vedic practices encompassing sound and vibration. Mantra, kirtan, devotional chanting, and bija seed sounds. These practices all catalyze evolutionary and awakening experiences that activate our higher consciousness. They provide access to the mystic realms. Some say that mantras are ancient vibrational codes, like passwords, that open portals and activate archetypal energies in our deep soul level memory. So, with a little help from the sound itself, we can tap into this field of primordial awareness and journey into the mystic into the timeless source of all being. We can expand beyond the mental, emotional constructs of earthly reality into the sacred heart, into the multi-dimensional realms. We can connect with our own higher soul wisdom and Akashic memory, which includes who we can become in this life. So it is here we realize that the sound, the vibrational field itself, the music, is infused with infinite knowledge. It is the teacher. It is the source. It is the wisdom. It is the one. The sound is the teacher. Through accessing our higher awareness through the vibrational field, we come to learn, to intuit, to receive the wisdom that is needed for our souls in this time. Through the sound, our consciousness can access expanded levels of wisdom and insight about our soul, our path, and the true nature of what is. Naada Brahma reveals the mystery of why people love music, because it connects us with the universe, with the universal field, with universal love and universal intelligence. It helps us feel whole and divine, energized and powerful. Now, the complexity of how humans have stylized, monetized, and digitized music is another tale for another time. But, as the Doobie Brothers say, give me a beat, boys, to free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away and drift away. So when I started receiving this piece from Althor, there were 4 gleanings offered on the mysteries of sound. I only have time here to go into one of them, in depth at least, but I want to share the titles of the others so you can begin to get a sense of what we're talking about here. The full written piece that came through with all 4 gleanings will soon be put up as a blog on my website, diamondlightnetwork.com, also as a podcast. The podcasts are up on Anchor and Spotify. Not there yet, but they will be posted soon. Here are the 4 gleanings. The first is sympathetic resonance, the vibrational connection. So the reason that we started this session with an Om, even though we are remote, through the mystery of the vibrational field, when we Om together, we create vibrational alignment. We resonate together. And there is a sympathetic resonance as we come together in oneness. So that's why it's really good to start classes, start sessions with a sounding, with creating a unified vibrational field. So that is sympathetic resonance. It brings our consciousness into vibrational connection. The second is called subjective relativity. Notes, chords, scales, and keys. And this one's pretty complex, but it's about how the structure of what we call music theory defines vibrational relationships that also expand into the nature of vibrational consciousness. So notes are like thoughts. Chords are like a collection of thoughts. Scales are a larger construct like a meme or a paradigm. And keys also defining collective vibrational relationships. So, and how it's all subjective. Whatever the tonic is going to be the subjective root, but any note can be the tonic. So I'm talking in musical language here, but that's number 2, subjective relativity. Number 3 is the music is the news. Catching the new generation's evolutionary message. And this one is about how each generation brings in a new sound, a new musical message that is actually bringing in new levels of evolutionary consciousness. This goes all the way back to Bach, to Mozart, to Beethoven. You know, Beethoven opened that romantic, humanistic message, and then into Debussy, into the dreamy romantic realms, into the dream, and then, you know, into the chaos of the 20th century with dissonant, you know, chromatic, multi-polyphonic music. Then into the amazing awakening music of the 60s, and then into electronic dance music. Each of these is the generation of new musicians hearing the new sound and bringing that sound and the message of that sound into the earthly collective. So the 4th, gleaning, which is the one we're going to talk about in more detail here, is called harmonic overtones, all in the one and the one in the all. So since the session is about sound healing, this particular gleaning moves particularly into sound healing. So, from Althor again, harmonic overtones, all in the one and the one in the all. And I'm going to pull my guitar over for this here. All right. The simple exercise of plucking a string can teach us something of the great mystery of the universe. In particular, the principle of all in one and one in all. Now, when we pluck the A string on a guitar, we hear a single note, A. But that single note is actually made up of many other subnotes, or better to say, the waveform of A220 is comprised of many subwaves in the string. The most predominant of those subwaves we call harmonics or overtones. So this A string, when I pluck it, is vibrating at 220 cycles per second. But it is not, the string is not creating a single arc vibrating at that 220 cycles per second. The actual vibrational pattern in the string is an infinite number of microwaves. The largest of these microwaves is exactly half of the string. So I'm going to hear. So this half, that's exactly half, it forms the octave. So there are actually 2 octaves, because there's a A now 440 here, and an A440 here. So that's the largest subwave of the full string, is the octave. The octave is called the first overtone, and it is the strongest, the most predominant overtone. So I don't want to get too bogged down in complicated acoustic mathematics here, but the string continues to subdivide. Right? You can almost see it. You know, it's not one note, but there are all these little sub-vibrations going on. That string continues to subdivide into quarters and thirds, and then quarters and thirds of each subtone, generating harmonic intervals of the octave, the fifth, the major third, and the fourth, and then on into infinite sub-vibrations that ultimately contain all the notes in the gamut, the full 12-note spectrum. I will demonstrate this a little later, but I'm going to keep on into the conversation here. So what we perceive as a single note, A, actually contains infinite sub-vibrations enveloping every note in the gamut. But that A, all those vibrations form to create this particular A220. The same is true of the E string. It vibrates in a different pattern at approximately 164 cycles per second to make it uniquely an E. So the key mystical observation here is that what we perceive as an individual note actually contains all of the other notes. Each individual note is a unique vibrational pattern composed of all the other notes in the sonic universe. In parallel, each individual person or each individuated soul consciousness is a unique vibrational pattern composed of the entire universe. I'll say that again. Each individual person or each individuated soul consciousness is a unique vibrational pattern composed of the entire conscious universe. We each have a seed of divine light consciousness in our heart center. The Tibetans call it the Vajra, or the indestructible diamond light that is our essential luminous nature. We each have a unique vibrational code in our hearts, our unique Akashic imprint that contains our soul memory and our soul purpose. This vibrational pattern is our note, our unique vibrational tone, and this single tone is composed of the infinite subtones that make a hologram of the entire conscious universe. A quote from Osho states this in a different metaphor. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean in a drop. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean in a drop. We each contain the infinite all. The seed of divine consciousness in our hearts is a hologram of the infinite multi-dimensional universe. We are each Naada, Brahma, vibrational creator of worlds. We are all subtones of the universal sound, and we each contain the infinite universe within the mystery of our hearts. The challenge, of course, is remembering this. Is remembering this through the density and corrupt patterning of our present day collective earthly consciousness. The ocean of contemporary human awareness has been distorted and polluted from an eon of dissonant darkness. Our ancestors, in order to survive the burning times, ages of war, torture, genocide, and centuries of horror, had to shut down their hearts and lose connection with the mystic realms. The heart of humanity got shut down and disconnected during this passing age of Kali. We are now just beginning to come into a new era when we can reawaken our hearts and reactivate these mystical connections through the web of light, the radiant matrix. But this is another tale for another time. The topic here is all in the one and the one in the all as reflected in the Overtones series. We are all singing the song of creation, creating worlds like Brahma with the vibrational generators of our conscious awareness, our voices, and our actions. We are each a unique tone in the symphony of the universe, and we each generate multi-dimensional harmonics with our creative energies. As a final note on this topic, I'm reminded to share a tidbit on sound healing in relation to the harmonic overtones. Sounding overtones when a person is in a receptive meditative state can activate what we call the upper chakras in the energy body. If any of you have done any of my workshops, one called Recalibrating the Energy Body, or another one called Akashic Soul Code Activation, you may have gotten a taste of working with these upper chakras. The energy body is composed of layers of awareness, each layer being a higher dimensional aspect of our oversoul. These upper chakras are doorways or portals into these dimensional layers. These portals sequence in the spiralic pattern of the harmonic overtones, with the root tonic being the vibrational tone of our Akashic imprint. So a simple application of this is that sounding harmonic overtones can open these upper chakra portals to sympathetically resonate our Akashic memory and awareness and memory of our higher dimensional self. So I like to play overtones on the flute. The flute has a very simple ability to create overtones. It sounds like this. So that's the overtone series. I was just fingering one note there, starting on middle C, and just playing up the overtone series there. On the guitar, any stringed instrument, you can do this. You know, on the cello, when you hear those kind of ghostly whale sound, that's activating the harmonics on the cello strings. And I can also do this here again. So on the A string, there's the full 220. Here's the octave, 440. And then I'm just going to slide down. Listen carefully. So that's another way of playing harmonic overtones to help activate. Again, playing that meditation. I'm going to do it when we get into the sound transmission that's going to come up next. I will do that again for you to hear how that works. So, all right. So, generating harmonic overtones is a simple way to open mystical memory and remember the principle of all in the one and the one in the all. So within, again, this single note of A are all those overtones. Within that single note of C that I played on the flute, that cycle of overtones continues. And it goes up and up and up, incorporating all of the tones in the gamut. We each contain the universe within the mystery of our hearts. So in closing this portion, I invite you all as sound explorers to embrace the mystic and the mystery, to let yourselves become students of the great teacher, the sound itself. It activates intuition. It helps you remember into deep soul memory, into the constructs of the true nature of what is. It is imperative that we awaken the world to the reality of the mystic, to realize, to make real the expanded possibilities of our human potential, to comprehend the power of sound from the perspective of the mystic realms is to open possibilities of our humanity to vast new horizons. It plants seeds for our heart-awakened future on earth. Eckhart Tolle has said, humanity has a choice: evolve or die. The power of sound is a vital resource to help us make this choice and manifest our evolutionary potential. So this provides a nice transition into the experiential portion of our session. While the intellect, the brain, understands the words, and it's important that the brain understands the words. This, Alfor has differentiated this to me. The real work in the heart comes through the vibration. That's where we really receive the teachings from the master teacher, the sound itself. So I'm going to move into a sound transmission where we will let the experience of Naada Brahma take you into the mystic realms. So I'm going to move up to the bowls, give you a minute to transition. All right, so here we are ready for part 2 of our session, which is where we're going to let the sound be the teacher, where we drop into the field of primordial awareness. We'll go in through the heart center. I'll do a little bit of induction to connect us into that mystic portal of the heart. I'm going to work with the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, one of the better known and more popular of the Vajrayana mantras. It translates as the jewel in the lotus. And that jewel is that diamond Vajra radiance that we spoke of before. That is that pure, essential, luminous nature in our hearts. So this mantra helps awaken and activate that diamond light, that jeweled essence in our heart centers. So I'm going to invite you to envision your heart as a beautiful orb of light. You can bring your hands to your chest. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let it out. We start with that pearl of light, that seed of divine consciousness in your heart center. Diamond radiance glowing right in the center of the chest, not the anatomical heart, but this energy center of the heart. And as it glows and grows, it becomes that larger orb of light that is your heart center, illumined with diamond radiance. Feeling, visualizing, realizing, making real your heart center. And then we're going to connect that center with 6 axes of light into the web, into the grid of light, the beautiful tapestry of creation. So from that pearl of light, you're going to send a beam of energy down through your root chakra, down, down, down to the heart of the earth, connecting your heart with the heart of the earth, rooting. And then on your next exhale, we're going to send another axis of light, spiral of energy from your heart up through your crown chakra, up, 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 into the stars. Up to the very heart of creation, the heart of the universe, that place of Brahma, Naada, direct connection with Source, your heart and the heart of the universe connected. Just being aware now that your spine and your heart have become a conduit between these ancient primordial forces of heaven and earth, feeling, remembering that ancient connection.
And then we move to the horizontal plane. I hold my arms out for this. So from the heart center, from my left, through my left hand, I send a beam of energy, kind of like Spidey, boom, sending. And that thread connects into the web of light. Right hand sending, beam of energy, connecting into the web of light. So now we have earth, sky, left, right, beams of light connecting your heart, meeting in your heart, opposites meeting in unity. And the final step is we do front and back. So from your heart center forward, send beam of energy connecting into the web of light. Moves through a multi-dimensional portal into the etheric web. And then behind, sending beam of energy connecting. The Tibetans call it the jeweled fabric of the universe, of which every heart is an integral part, the jeweled tapestry of creation. So holding yourself in this beautiful architecture of light, your heart aglow, connected with all being through this circuitry of light. Allow the vibrations as I move into the sound transmission to wash through you, but also to resonate that light in your heart. So through that portal of the heart, you begin to drop into primordial awareness, into that unified field of the Naada, Brahma, Naada, Brahma, Naada, Brahma. I am the bright, shining spark. I am the seed of love's wisdom. I am the blossom of the flower. I am the jewel in the lotus. And now is my hour. My hour. Coming back into your breath. Feeling the breath in your body. Observing how you feel when your heart is illumined and connected. When your heart begins to drop into quantum awareness, into the vast beauty of the mystic realms. Into that unified field of vibration through which all knowledge, wisdom is accessible. And taking a moment just to feel, imprint this feeling, this awareness of your universal presence, your heart, wisdom, awake, connected with all being, in peace and beauty and magic. And we always offer a dedication of merit at the end of our practice, so that we take this good energy that we have generated through our practice here together. We generated what the Tibetans call bodhicitta, good, noble heart energy, through our meditation, through our connection into quantum consciousness, through the heart circuit. And we'll offer, I invite you to offer a pulse of light out through your circuit, boom, that this beauty may be remembered by all beings in all realms. That all beings may remember the light in their hearts and our connectedness with all being. I'm going to use the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu mantra, beautiful dedication mantra, that we offer this out, that all beings may be happy, that all beings may be free from fear, that all beings may dwell in equanimity and never be parted from true joy, from true joy. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, 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 loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy. Samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be free. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Sending that pulse of light out through your grid work, your heart, sending light out to the universe, that all beings may remember the light in their hearts. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. So taking this remembrance of Naada, Brahma, the sound is the teacher, imprinting it into your heart, into your cells, into your body, that you can connect. You are connected with all being, with quantum awareness, with the most powerful creative force in the universe. Through sound, through music, we can connect and drop into this. So I thank you for joining me on this session. Thank you to the Globe Sound Healing Conference, David and Lauren and all the amazing people who helped put this together. I'm most grateful to be part of it, and I hope you found this practice of benefit. Please keep in touch. DiamondLightNetwork.com is my website, and you can sign up for our email list or send me an email at diamondlightnetwork@gmail.com. Happy to keep connected. So thank you. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Many blessings.
Excellent.
Thank
Nice.
you. Thank you.
Nice. You know, it's interesting. I do think that there's something going on with our guides, because what I've been focusing on recently is sound and music is the basis of the entire universe, the basis of how our body works, the basis of it all.
Yep.
And so I've got into a lot of detail, in fact, got some detailed downloads from my guides on precisely how to heal every disease in the world based on this concept.
Wow.
And you talked about it in here, and I want to share and see what you think. So, you know, there's frequencies, which if you think of it as the body, you can think of, you talked about thoughts as frequencies and expanded it from there. What you got frequencies could be like a cell, and then a bunch of frequencies is like an organ, which is a bunch of cells, right? Which was a timbre, which is a harmonic structure. And then the relationship between all the organs is a musical interval relationship.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
But really the whole deal is the flow through the systems, right? And that's the music. Right? Smooth flow through each system is the definition of health. Smooth flow without blockages.
Right,
so
beautiful.
You can even look at meridians and go, okay, here's the frequency of an acupuncture point each one. And that means when energy flows through that meridian, it's playing a song with very specific musical interval relationships or very specific melodic progression, right? Da, da, da,
Wow.
da. So in what I realized from the guides is what they said is there's a melody and rhythm for each of the 11 medical systems in the body.
Wow.
Tuned to the person. And when we find it, which we can find it with an electron microscope or medical intuitive, right? Then we can actually use needles with frequencies, electro microcurrents, infrared light, ultrasound, and scalar waves, and run that song through each of the 11 systems tuned precisely to you.
Wow.
But not only is it the body, flow systems, smooth flow in ecosystems is also the deal. So you've got like the the atom is like the frequency, a molecule is a timbre. All of the elements, earth, air, fire, and water are timbres, but it's the relationship of them that keeps everything in balance, and the flow between the ecosystems, musical flow, smooth flow without blockages, that makes a healthy ecosystem. So it's really at every, and even thoughts, you could say there's a thought, there's a combination of thoughts, there's, then there's all a oneness, which is all. So it's basically going from single to more to adding time, where you got flow.
Wow.
In all levels of reality.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. I mean, for me, those are levels of complexity I've not delved into, although I do work with the pentatonic systems in relation to the 5 elements and meridian systems. But it's just a reminder for me that the model of what we call music theory is the only system in our culture really that describes these vibrational relationships in all their infinite possibilities, between tone and timbre and harmonic relationship, and then which tone is the dominant, which tone is the tonic, which is really, because that's what creates subjectivity, is whatever that root home tone is. And that just, it creates all these infinite possibilities and permutations of understanding vibrational relationships, which, yes, the body is a tone, but also the heart, the tonality of that coding in the heart is our soul tone. And so, yes, that expands into the soul, keeping the physical body infused with life and light, which has all these subtones. But to me, it would all come back to what is that core soul tone that is the encoding. And it's more like a melody because it has multiple.
Well, you can look at it different levels. You can look at the note, you can look at the timbre, you can look at the music of it. So it could be, your soul note, your soul timbre, which could be all of the mental, emotional, and spiritual and personality bodies that Alice Bailey talks about. And it could be a soul song.
Yeah, and my teacher, actually, one of the first sound teachings I received from my spiritual teacher, the Venerable Dhyani Wahu, was about soul songs, encoding the astrological tonality. So you take the dates of the birthday all the way down to the time, and you create a melody out of the numerology. That, again, to me, there are a lot of questions about, well, what key are you using? Is it major, minor, and and is it 40 or is it 432? But there is a basic model there of how to tune into that coding that called that person to incarnate through that numeric window.
So this is where I've been finding a person's metabolism note and rhythm, a person's heart note, a person's voice note, and a person's soul note.
Wow.
And now it's interesting because I used to think that your soul note would be the same as where you're at peace as far as your metabolism, which is basically an average of the heart rate when you're at peace, and brainwave rate, which you don't have to average out, right? And so that's what Jeffrey Thompson's find. I've been doing it for 10 years, where we can find your note and tune the music to your note and your rhythm, right?
Wow.
And I thought for the longest time, I thought, well, it would make sense that your soul note is that note where you're at peace in your body. So I thought of your metabolism note as your soul note for the longest time. And then this psychic that I don't trust many of them, but I said, no, your soul note's actually a different note. And then she said, if you find your heart note, your voice note, and your metabolism note, and your soul note, that chord will bring you back into complete perfection and health, your temple of perfection.
Wow,
But
beautiful.
what you said, though, this is the reason I bring this up, is because you just said that your soul is the same as your heart note.
And again, I'm talking not about the anatomical heart, but the energy center of the heart.
Right.
It's
No,
even
yeah.
different than the heart chakra.
Right.
And what
Me
Alpha
too.
has taught me is that in that heart center, which we envision as a pearl of light or an orb of light, is circulating and singing in multidimensional structure that core tonality of our soul. And I'm getting from you that it's more a song than a single note, because it has all these different dimensionalities to it.
Well, yeah, you can always look at every level. You can look at it as it's kind of like the wave or the particle. It's just which you want to look at. Do you want to look at the frequency, or do you want to look at the flow?
Right.
It's interesting because I don't know. I'm just gathering information that maybe the soul note is the same as that core essence of love. Now, the way we find it, the way I have people find it, is I say, bring love into your heart, and then listen for a note. Listen for a note in your head, not out loud, because your voice note is different.
Right.
Listen for a note in your head for your heart. And if I did it, okay, so let me do it. I got to feel love first. Oh, yeah. Put on original sound so you hear it. That's mine.
Wow.
It would be really cool if that was the soul note too. If it's not, I assume it's going to be a certain musical interval relationship that is the same musical interval relationship for everybody. Although the note would be different, it's going to be the same. Maybe not, but that would be my guess. They don't tell us too much around here.
And I guess, what I'm also being reminded is that, there are all these amazing details, intricacies and details of the vibrational system. And you can go to a punk rock concert and you're going to have, 500 kids totally blissed out because they're in a unified vibrational field. And even if it's playing loud, ugly grunge, what do they call that? The dubstep, that it's people into bliss because it's bringing them into the unified field. And so all these intricate details are amazing. And it's really any alignment with a unified field is going to activate, particularly where there's group resonance.
Nice.
It's going to open us into the Naada Brahma, into that one, into the infinite.
Which is the whole deal, right? It's really the whole deal. I think of source and oneness as being all frequencies.
Yeah.
And so what you were saying about the one and the all, it's the most important thing of all. It's like in different workshops, I'll ask people, how many of you have been one with the universe? And maybe a third, sometimes only a quarter. But then the big question is, how many of you are able to access it at will? and it's
Mm.
half of those.
Right.
So, what would you say is the best way to access oneness, or ways you could recommend to people?
I think everyone loves music, and that's, even in those darkest of times, going back into the, 15th, 16th, 17th century, you know, the music of Bach, you listen to the incredible organ and choral music of Johann Sebastian Bach or Beethoven, that's where I resonate. When I was a teenager, my friends were all listening to Pink Floyd. I was listening to Bach and Beethoven because it was just, and I had smoked a little weed or taken a few accelerants, so to speak, and it was. I mean, I was touching God, and that music, those people that are open to receiving the message of the age through the music, which are the great composers in that time. That's how we awaken our hearts through the most horrible darkness. Music will bring us back into that bliss and that unity.
I would add one big thing to that.
Mm,
When you have people that are sitting there, heart open, and
mm,
accessing oneness,
mm,
when they're running that energy,
yeah.
you know,
Ooh, yeah, I'm
like,
getting
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Ooh,
like,
yeah,
that seems to be the number one thing that brings people in it, other than drugs and accidents,
yeah.
is
Yeah,
being with
singing
someone there.
together. Yeah, that's why kirtan is so popular these days because it allows everybody just to come together and sing the divine, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Ganapataye Namaha,
I have to say, you work with Deva Premal and Mitten, right?
Yeah.
It's like I've never seen a concert. I mean, I've been to Pink Floyd a million times. Saw God at a Pink Floyd concert, but
Right.
I've never been to a concert like, especially the concerts they've done recently. Oh my God,
Yeah.
they create such a room of connection.
Yeah.
It's just, and their energy is so sweet
Yeah.
and so right on and playful and deep, and it's just, and it's just, that is the whole deal,
Yeah.
right? It's really so this is the one thing I would say, that for anybody listening, if you're doing a concert or a sound bath, the energy you bring to it is the whole deal.
Yeah. 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 And Dave and Miten they have the great privilege and honor of carrying on the expansive heart of Osho. Miten was leader of the band at Osho's ashram in Pune back in the 80s and 90s, 80s. And after every satsang that Osho would give, Miten's band would then play. And, thousands of people dancing in the bliss of Osho's field. So they're very tuned into that immense mystical heart space that Osho expanded and developed. And I've heard people say the only thing that exists on earth like sitting with Osho is to go, to a concert with David Malami 10, because that's what they're transmitting, is that amazing mystical bliss.
Okay, I got one final question for you. Can you make the sound of your heart?
Mm.
Energy.
What comes through is the throat singing that I do. Mm. Mm. Yeah, this all for me, it all kind of wove synchronistically of working with the bowls, dropping deeper into the throat singing, which I'd been doing for a while, but fusing that with the Vajrayana chanting and realizing that it's with the visualization that Althor has given me of the heart and the heart circuit, that just opens the heart portal and it helps resonate other people's hearts awake as well. So that was that when I asked for an answer to the question, that's what I got. So
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you. Lovely to hear your research and exploration. Amazing stuff that you're doing. So, and thank you for hosting this incredible conference that's been going for what 15 years now. It's a really important resource for helping people awaken to the nature of the vibrational fields.
Thank you so much. May we all be one again.
Oh.